Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 508 Northeast 29th Avenue here in Portland. We're located down in the basement. We're going through there's a kind of a utility closet down here with the water heater in it. We have a backflow valve under the floor. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water running. And someone has taken the flapper out of this. When I open the valve up, there's no flapper inside of it. So right now it's not really offering any backflow preventative action, but anyhow, I'm sure you can go buy ones and stick it back in here if you want to have the backflow valve in place. Backflow valves are kind of at least in my opinion, they have some good and they have some bad to them. They do a pretty nice job of preventing backups from especially mainline blockages out in the street. The downside to them is that anything that has to go through the line has to open the flapper up to do it, and you lose some water velocity in the process. So anyhow, like I said, there's good and bad to them. So you want to make sure you're not putting things like grease down your line, paper towels, tampons. They shouldn't go down any line, but especially one with a backflow preventer, because they can get snagged up on the flapper. So we switched over to, it appears to be 4-inch cast iron. Going off of a backflow valve, it's a little harder to visually gauge. Usually these old homes, especially this size, will have 4-inch diameter pipe in them. So I'm kind of going off of that. This appears to be 4-inch diameter cast iron. The line just transitioned there back to ABS plastic from cast iron. Now we're into 3034 PVC pipe, all of which appears to be 4-inch diameter. Now it looks like we are into standard PVC pipe. And right here appears to be our main lateral connection. Now we're going to go do some locating real quick to verify where the terminus is at, and we'll have a better look at everything as we come back and the line's fully drained. I was unable to locate the camera head out in the street, so we're going to pull back here 20 feet or so and see if we can't locate it at a different location. The line may just be too deep for my locator to reach down to. And I think at some point the line switched over to 6-inch diameter pipe. This looks a little bit taller than 4-inch. I think right here is where that happens. That looks like the transition to 6-inch right here. I think that just based on where the line, how it traveled, I think the line is curving into the, potentially going out underneath the garage floor is kind of how it looks. You got some very minor standing water that transition from 3034 to standard PVC as well. I can hardly even call this a belly. You've got a foot of pipe here with barely a 1/4 inch of standing water. If you're clogging a spot like that, it is 100% because of what you put down the line. There's way too little water there to actually do anything, unless you're flushing paper towels and everything under the sun that shouldn't go down the line. Now I'm going to try and go locate here at the transition to ABS and see if we can figure out where the line's going. Alright, and still not having any luck here locating. It must be due to the depth of the line. I just walked a complete circle around the whole house. Backyard, front yard, and I'm still not picking up anything that is coming in strong enough to know it's the sewer line. So you may have to, if you want to know where it's going, you may have to pull some records and get the diagram from the city. And still no luck here, so I'm going to pull it way back in and try and catch the line as it comes out of the foundation. All right, I'm able to pick the camera head up here. Sorry, I hit the mic there. I was able to pick the camera head up on the right side of the home down here in the basement. The line is either, I think it's exiting out the right side of the home. And what's hard to tell right now is this turn that it makes here as to which direction it's going. It's either going out to the street in front or it's cutting through the neighbor's yard to the right of this to get out to the other street. All right, I'm going to spend a little time locating here. I just took a locate there, and it looks like the line is shooting through the fence line on the right side of the house. But I may push back out a ways and see if I can relocate it just to figure out where the heck this thing's going. I'm just pulling back right now to complete the inspection so that everyone else in here can start running water again. All right, so we are just about back to the clean out here. We have great flow of the main. All the ABS, cast iron, and PVC portions of the line we have scoped here today all appear to be in good condition, have good flow, and are functioning properly at this time. Again, you've got two super tiny bellies. They're so minor they're not going on my report. They're both about a foot long, holding somewhere between a 1/16 and a 1/4 inch of water. For reference, I don't even consider repairs until there's at least an inch of water for 5 to 10 feet, but with significant buildup on top of that. So these are long, long ways away from that. So functionally, the line looks great, functions very nicely.
disturbing the land.
All right, I marked the line right before it goes through the fence line on the right side of the property. Beyond that, you're going to have to set up a different time here to come over to. I would go to the house to the right of this one, the blue house. It looks that I can guarantee this thing's going underneath. The other possibility is the house to the left of this. Based on that Y connection and where the bathrooms are situated in this house, there's a high likelihood that the house to the left of this is tied in under the floor down here as well. So, recommend getting the city involved with that and how they want to rectify the party line. As far as functionality goes, the line functions very nicely. But I marked before the line goes to the fence line, and then I marked just as the line exits out from underneath the home to the right of this house, the blue house. I think it's going out to Gleason.